it going, people? It is Liam Caddison here, and we're reacting to another episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer as we get into episode number 10 of Season 7. Looking forward to jumping into this episode, especially with the substantial push that we had in the last episode, with the fact that Buffy and co, they now know what they're up against for this season, and it's a familiar adversary, one that appeared in Season 3, Episode 10, The First. So, yeah, there's a little bit of an advantage that Buffy can take with the fact that she's faced this thing before, but it's not going to make a day and night difference, is it? So, yes, but now we all know what Buffy and co are up against, so it's going to be very, very interesting to see things moving forward from here onwards, especially with it summoning up a new breed of vampires, which is really, really great, as well as the fact that it's managed to get its hands on Spike once more, so fun stuff. But there were other things that happened as well. Principal Wood, we've got our suspicions on him, so yeah, and the Watchers Council, Quentin and co, yeah, they're gone. So, yeah, as I said, pretty satisfying. Not something that I would lose sleep over whatsoever. In fact, that night I had the best sleep in a while. That's over-exaggerating, but no. The fact that they will no longer be a pain in our asses for, like, here onwards is just delightful. So yeah, but no, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in this episode. As I said, with Buffy and co now knowing what they are up against, it's going to be very interesting to see things move forward. So with that said, let's get into episode number 10 of season 7 for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Let's go.
It claimed to be the original evil, the one that came before anything else.
Please, how many times have I heard that line in my demon days? I'm so rotten they don't even have a word for it. I'm bad, baddie, bad, bad, bad. Does it make you horny?
Maybe it's pissed with the antagonists that come along and claimed they are so powerful.
It was, hand me the Watcher's Codex again.
Can I get you anything else, baby? How about some tea?
Is this... No, is this the first?
They're not real.
Okay, is that slang like you're not for real, or?
You're the first.
Uh-oh.
Oh, baby, you're so tired, you're not making sense.
So easily. Like pink paper. Till then we'll have our way with this one.
Oh.
You guys.
I miss her so much.
Like this.
The first is gonna be like, I just spent like some time just on digging that.
Man, this place gives me the creeps. It's like in Wonder Woman issue 297, 299.
Catacombs, yeah, with the skeletons.
You know, I've been ill and stuff.
No, it's fine, and I understand. It's just things are starting to back up.
Well, I'll be there.
Well, you know, isolation's very important.
100% ooze free.
Good.
Okay.
What's his deal?
I did. I felt it. It was like...
Whoa! Oh, Oh, no. Will? Oh, no. Will!
You only make me stronger.
I know what we're doing. I can't. I'm sorry.
At least let me
There's
come
that
with
spark of darkness and...
you. You said yourself you don't know how to fight the first, or even
It's out there. It's hurting my friends. I'll find it.
Giles!
Giles.
Hey! Of course you're not dead.
This is
All on their way to Sunnydale.
The others were murdered.
Oh, so
In cold blood.
they were potential slayers. Holy dang.
We always feared to erase all the Slayers in training and their watchers, along with their methods.
Eliminates the competition.
And then Faith. And then me.
Yeah, is Faith gonna come
All the
back?
potential's gone and no way of making
Because we
it
gotta
better.
protect her, right?
It's the end. No more...
Gone.
What?
Sorry.
Obliterated. They were in session and there was an explosion.
That means All the council's
That was
records
Liam's joy, by
are
the way.
destroyed?
Annabelle?
And you blew the council up. See, this is what happens when you're all stuffy and repressed. You overreact.
I didn't. Must have been an agent of the first after
Yeah.
my little burglary session. Now, the knowledge contained in these
But how
files
did you yeah, like...
had to be protected. You're the only one who has the strength to protect these girls and the world against what's coming.
And Faith, we, like...
But no pressure.
No, it's
That's
gonna
the
be a
plan?
breeze.
I don't see how one person, even a Slayer, could protect us. I saw what those bringer guys can do.
Do you know who she is?
Of course, we'll use all our resources.
And if
What you tell and what you know. I say when this is over. And I'm not done with you yet. Not nearly.
There is a slightly, you know, small extra layer to Drew's character. Like,
Wanna do the sleeping arrangements?
okay, you better not hog the covers.
wow.
Eat.
Oh my god, it's just taking it, like... You fought, Buff. An ex-Giles! Hey, you don't like sunlight though still, do you?
Did you slay it? No.
Tried.
Somewhere.
What's it want?
All of us dead. But for now, it looks like sunlight's keeping this uber.
I mean, what vampire doesn't, to be fair? Like,
Once you see true evil, it can have some serious afterburn. And then you can't
why? What
unsee
do you
what
know,
saw,
Mr. Wood?
ever. It's just one opinion. I better get back to work.
I'm squirming up from out the earth. I know you like a good wriggle, and a giggle, and a squiggle.
You're not
Miss her!
No, I'm really not.
She was crazier than you.
Daddy,
Oh
no
no.
kicking.
Oh no.
It's
Decide. Choose our side. You know that it's delicious.
She might not be as... Well, it might not be as crazy as Drusilla, but she's got that kind of sinister vibe.
Get bent.
Woo!
stupid, stubborn Daddy.
Evil isn't coming. It's already here. Evil is always here. Don't you know? It's everywhere. And I have to stop it. How are you gonna do that?
So much power, but when I try to use it, don't. Okay?
Oh, it's not like you're useless, okay?
But you need help, Buffy. I know you, and I know you'll never admit it, but you need help.
I'll be okay. Leia, safe as houses. You see the house we're in?
I mean, to be fair,
It'll come
it
straight
could be
for us,
worse.
won't it? That's not exactly what I needed to hear right now. Guys! Annabelle split.
Annabelle, what? Oh, she's gonna die, isn't she? There we go. Oh, okay. Oy. That might have... Yeah, I was gonna say, that might not have been a good idea. Oof. Took it like a champ. That might do it. No way. Oh my god. Oh my... What the... It's upping its game! It's like, oh, that was a bad mistake, Buffy. My...
Buffy! What makes you think you will ever be any good at all in this world?
She does. Because she believes in me.
Go on, Spike. Go on, Spike.
We could make plans, as we always do, but the truth is, Buffy was our plan. There is no backup.
Oh, she looks bad.
Don't know when it'll come. Can't run. Can't hide. Can't pretend it's not the end, because it is.
Oh my goodness.
And something's always been there to try and destroy the world.
Buffy, I know you're very tired.
I'm beyond tired. I'm beyond scared. I'm standing on the mouth of hell, and it is going to swallow me whole.
Holy sh...
And it'll choke on me. We just declared war. From
Oh
now
my
on, we won't just
god,
fight them,
that
destroy them,
power!
we'll seek them out. We will find them and cut out their hearts one by one. There is only one thing on this earth more powerful than evil. And that's us.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Any questions?
Where do I sign up? Damn, that was powerful. That was really, really powerful. Like, even in the face of defeat and dread. Even in the grimmest of times. Like, because Buffy got leveled by one superior vampire, basically. She's not giving up. She is like, okay, you want to go? Let's go. So that's it, though. She is bringing this, and damn, that filled me with so much power. Dang. This is it, though. Like, I'm really sensing this atmosphere of dread with now the first being revealed, with Buffy being absolutely leveled by that vampire. Imagine an army. It's like, ooh. Yeah, it does have that apocalyptic vibe, and things are definitely ramping up now. And this is it. They're going to need all the help they can get. Which is why Faith coming back to Sunnydale is a mandate. They're going to have to find a way to break Faith out of jail. Or try to, like, have her released or something. So, yeah, they're going to have... I mean, Angel investigations are a bit occupied at the minute, so... Yeah. I'm just really ready for this, so let's go. Yeah, this was a great way on setting things up further in terms of, I guess, the devastation with the first, as well as get a brief... Because we saw a brief sneak peek of the Turrican in the last episode, and in this episode we got to see how ruthless it is. But also to push the plot forward with them bringing in the potential slayers, with Buffy declaring war in that amazing speech. I just love how badass it was. Like, with the fact that Buffy is bruised, she is not sleeping right, she is hurting, like, she's on a disadvantage, as well as the fact that, like, there is a struggle in terms of how do we move forward, because the first is so ambiguous. We're literally fighting on a disadvantage, and even in the face of defeat, like, because Buffy has not been in this much, I guess, devastation for quite some time, she is still inspired with so much strength and passion to declare war. She's like, okay, so these bastards want a war? Let's go! So, yeah, I really thought that was a really badass moment from Buffy, because Buffy has been kicked left, right, and centre before, and things have looked pretty devastating, and Buffy has looked lost quite a bunch of times. And in a moment where the Turek Han is, like, absolutely bodies her, and, you know, with no information, or little information, if anything, and things looking hopeless, Buffy's not she's not stopping any kind of hope whatsoever in terms of defeating the First. She, if anything, she is like, okay, if you want to put me down, you're gonna have to bring it more than that. I am not giving up. So it's just so badass and incredible seeing how strong Buffy was in that moment where she is looking weakened. She is not letting that stop her. She is wanting to bring it even further. And, you know, that might be that might be one of the best speeches just because of Buffy's state at the minute, both physically and mentally. And the fact that there is so much dread with the First, with the fact that it's the root of all evil, and there is this immortal presence in a sense, because it's been there ever since the dawn of time. It's evil incarnated. And how do you stop evil? And the fact that it's allied itself with the Turek Han, who is a devastating enemy. It's looking like a losing battle, but Buffy is bringing that nothing is impossible vibe. We are going to find a way, and we are going to make sure that we're going to win this war. So it's just a really, really powerful moment to see Buffy just be so determined and so ready and willing to bring it. So it's just really, really good stuff. Though I do hope, I need Faith to return. Like, they even mentioned it, and the fact that they have to rescue all the potentials. We found out that Buffy's dreams, they were connected to potential slayers, and they were off. And we need to safeguard any potential slayers, as well as the fact that I think Faith is the, you know, official designated slayer, because Buffy died in season 1, and then Kendra was called up, and then Kendra died in the finale of season 2, and then Faith was brought in to replace Kendra, and Faith is currently in prison, so technically she is the designated slayer. And, you know, if you're gonna have to safeguard all these potentials, and if you're gonna have this war basically spark out between the First and the Slayers, if anything, you gotta bring in Faith, right? Because it's like, I'm not sure if, like, the actress would be busy around this time. I don't know if Liza is going to be, like, busy and whatnot, and I'm sure they could find some kind of loophole. Like, even if they've just brought her back for the finale, they've got to find a way to bring in Faith in this, because I feel like I don't know, there would be I don't know what to describe it, but it wouldn't feel right if you had this story go on and Faith wasn't brought in, the official designated slayer, because she hasn't died yet. So yeah, if you're bringing all these potentials, like, obviously Buffy is spearheading this war, but you're targeting everything. You're targeting the Watchers, you're targeting the potentials, you gotta target the designated slayer, and that's Faith. So it's interesting how they haven't hit LA yet, because surely law enforcement is not going to phase the First whatsoever, unless it can't somehow track Faith. But it is just very, very interesting. But as I said, Eliza needs to come back. There's got to be a way. It would just be very, very interesting, though. Like, with this war spiraling out, to have Angel Investigations just, I don't know, have some kind of participation. I know they've got their own stuff going on at the minute, but it would, like, at this moment, Buffy needs all the help she can get if she is to take the fight. This is well, I would say Endgame is this kind of moment, but in terms of context, you need everything and everyone at your disposal, and I feel like this would be a really, really good time. I don't know how things would be in terms of, like, this kind of period with both Angel and Buffy on different networks, but a guy's gotta hope, right? So, yeah. But yeah, if Faith doesn't come back, I think I'm gonna be a bit disappointed because, like I said, I think it would make it would make a hell of a lot of sense to bring in Faith in this war. They're targeting Slayers, they're targeting Watchers, well, potential Slayers. They gotta target the big one. They gotta target the, I guess, official Slayer, even though Faith is in prison at the minute. Yeah. So, but I really loved this episode. Like I said, I think it did a very good job at escalating the threat of the first, and now that we know who the main antagonist is, I think the job is to build upon that and create this sense of dread. And I honestly do feel that, like, when Buffy felt defeated with Buffy and Giles with their speech and whatnot, yeah, I feel like there is that sense of dread. There is that apocalyptic vibe, as well as the fact that there is this sad notion that next episode will be the halfway point of the final season. So yeah, and we've got this nefarious root of all evil. You know, it's funny because you got season 8, and this is the big one. This is evil incarnated. This is this is the big goal. And you got season 8 and you got season 9, I think, the comics. I don't know what they were planning in terms of continuation of Buffy. Because obviously, as I've just mentioned, with season 8, you know, that's a thing. So, but I don't know if they were planning to continue with season 8 or whatever at that point, because I'm not sure when the comics officially came out, so it could have been a few years, and this could have been the finish line, and then, oh, let's do season 8 in comic form, so yeah. But yeah, like I said, even though this is like, I guess technically not the final season, but it is in live action, it is just really great to have that sense of dread and that apocalyptic vibe, especially with the first, the root of all evil, essentially, and the Scoobies just being at a loss because it predates recorded history. It has been there since the start, and it's very, very hard to, it's very hard to get a read on something that is I don't know, so ancient, and yeah, nothing that is hardly recorded. Yeah, it's just very, very interesting to see the Scoobies at a loss at the minute. Not just that, not just in terms of like finding data and whatnot, but also with Buffy herself, with like not even the first, like just the Turek Han. So it's looking devastating there, and things could potentially get a bit worse, but as we've elucidated, that's not going to stop Buffy whatsoever with that incredible, empowering speech. I just really loved it, and it will be very interesting to see what does happen from here onwards. Like I said, Buffy not giving up. She's gaining herself an army. It's going to be very, very juicy to see basically a full-out war between the First and the Turek Han, and anyone else that wants to join, you know, the bad guys, and Buffy and the potential Slayers and anyone else, because you could have Angel Investigations just show up, because that would be very interesting, but I'm not sure if that would dilute things on Angel, considering they've got their own problems at the minute, and yeah, I mean, it would be very, very nice considering Angel started off with Buffy, of course, and you could bring in you could bring in like Cordelia, I guess, and everyone else. And like I said, I think it would be very, very nice, like this grand scale war, like this thing then is very, very well, nothing's impossible, but it seems like it's edging close to impossibility. But as I said, nothing's impossible. There's always a weakness, and yeah, it's just it's like a needle in a haystack at the minute for the Scoobies. So yeah, but I really, really loved this. Poor Annabelle ran away. No, you should not have done that, but hey, so yeah, but it was really interesting to see some of the potentials with Giles bringing them over, which was kind of great to see well, obviously he wasn't going to get killed off, but it seems odd because they just completely ignored the fact that, yeah, Giles nearly, like last time you saw Giles, he was about to meet Destiny with an axe, and they just completely ignored it. So I'm not sure what the heck's happening there. Unless I don't think it's, deliberate, and this is the first, because obviously the first is like it manipulates the mind, and this is it causes such a uncertainty with me, because I'm not even sure if that thing that if Joyce was the first in the bits that Buffy blacked out, because I'm not sure if it can, like, it obviously can appear in, I guess, the material world, like when you're awake and whatnot. I'm not sure if it can seep into dreams and whatnot. But we know that it can take the guise of those deceased, even technically deceased as well. Because it's taken the form of Buffy, who has technically died twice. Spike, of course, vampire, etc. So you don't have to be total dead. You can be resurrected, I guess, and you could be a vampire, and the first can take that guise. So, yeah. So it can still technically, like, if Giles did die then and then, it can take, obviously, Giles's guys. But I don't think it is. I don't know. I did find it a bit odd that Giles didn't help Buffy up from the hole. Like, he would have been there. So I did find it a bit odd. But yeah, I think there's more than that, like, because like I said, it does feel a bit odd that they just completely glanced over the fact that, hey, Giles nearly died last time you saw him, and we're not going to bring that up again. So you got to explain that, otherwise, like, I feel so that's why I feel like there might be some kind of there is something odd. Like, this is the thing. Don't trust anyone in this season of Buffy, because Principal Wood, there is suspicions about him. We're not sure, like, if the first was masquerading as Joyce in this episode or not. It could be like some anti-first thing. I don't know. Like, you got the first evil. What about the first good? I'm putting on the tinfoil hat. At this moment, but yeah, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I don't think Giles is the first masquerading, but it is a, I guess you could say, potential. Just with the thing that this thing loves to manipulate, especially as we saw in episode 7, and of course that reference in this episode about it trying to manipulate Angel into suicide. So there is that, and it could just be a way to kick the Scoobies down even further. But yeah, there's just, like, the ignorance of Giles nearly dying, as well as the fact that he just kind of abandoned Buffy when she was facing the Turek Khan. That does seem a bit odd, but we'll just have to wait and see what does happen. But like I said, with the idea of me having a lack of trust in characters, there is Principal Wood, who did bring up his Mystique comment about, I love mysteries. So yeah, as well as the fact that he's keeping his eye on Buffy. Although, then again, as we've stated, Buffy is not in the right state of in a healthy state at the minute. Even though she is declaring war and she's not letting these disadvantages weighing her down. She's not getting enough sleep, so it could be a matter of concern for Principal Wood. But then again, there was that awkward meeting where Jonathan died with the seal, and he was centimeters, if anything, from there with a spade. So yeah, it could be that he was, tracking Buffy and Co. whilst Andrew led them to that place. And as well as the fact that I did bring up, it is a kind of a bit suspicious that I am getting my first suspicions about Principal Wood in the same episode that they basically reveal who the main antagonist is this season. So, yeah. but we'll just have to wait and see. It could be all red herrings and whatnot. Principal Wood could have some skeletons in his closet. Who knows? This episode not exactly helping my suspicions with Principal Wood whatsoever. So, yeah. Hey, at least it's not like some... then again, we had that kind of thing with Snyder, didn't we? That there was some suspicions about him when he was first introduced and whatnot, and it was revealed that him and the mayor were basically best buddies. So I'm not sure if they would repeat history in terms of Principal Wood being, if anything, besties with the First or whatever, but... we'll just have to wait and see. But, Willow was very, very amazing in this episode, and my heart broke for her because, of course, they were trying to locate the First, and the First was like, yeah, that's not going to work, and we had a bit of that resurgence of Dark Willow, and then that was thankfully stopped. And my heart broke for her with the fact that she felt, I don't know, there was that feeling of her being a liability. And of course she was asking after Buffy and saying, if you need help, I'm going to be here, I want to help out. And I do feel so bad for Willow, because this is not the first time we saw Dark Willow emerge. We saw that in, I think it was episode 5. So yeah, I do feel so bad for her. But yeah, she's not a liability, and she is trying to help, and yeah, it'll be very, very interesting to see her involvement. But of course, my heart broke for her when she said, "I don't want to hurt you," after her little spell. See, her little spell with her being Dark Willow again. So yeah, but we also had Drew First. I'm calling her that because obviously it wasn't Drusilla, but the First taking on the guise of Drusilla, and it's always nice to see Drusilla, I guess, in some technicality, because even Spike was like saying you're not as crazy as Drusilla. So, but oddly enough, like, even though it's not Drusilla, it still has that layer of, I don't know, something a bit more sinister with Drusilla than usual. Because obviously with this being the First, it has that greater sense of dread, especially with the impossibility, I guess, of trying to find an answer to defeating the First. And with Drusilla, she's always had that characterization that makes you kind of like, ooh. But now with, blending, I guess, the essence of the First and Drusilla into one, it's like a bit more of a sinister vibe, if that makes sense, because of the fact that the First is this entity that seemingly is, putting up a fight in order for it to be defeated, as well as it, like, being so evil it predates history, etc. And you just got the embodiment of Drew. So yeah, but I really, really liked how Spike was reflecting on how Buffy was echoing her hope for Spike from the last episode, and was fighting, having that strength, kind of like Buffy. Actually, there's that parallel where Spike is feeling a bit weakened and is beaten to a pulp, and it's not going to stop there, and he is going to he's going to take hits and hits and hits, and he's not going to give up, and he's not going to align. Like, the First was like, hey, pick a side, buddy, not hard, and I hope you do choose mine. And Spike was like, nope, I am fighting for Buffy. So Buffy feeling that strength, even though she has been bloodied and bruised. Same with Spike, who is bloodied and bruised, but he is still showing that strength. He is still possessing that ounce of hope like Buffy is. So yeah, I really, really thought that's a nice parallel there. But it's going to be very interesting to see how things go. Great episode, like I said, in terms of continuing the threat of the First, as well as the fact that it really showcased how ruthless and deadly the Turek Khan is. So the vampires that even the vampires fear. So that's a very, very nice it's a very, very nice analogy to kind of establish this threat, and then seeing it in action, seeing it basically not like the only time it was showing a bit of weakness was when the sun came out, which is, you know, part of the course with vampires. But even then, nothing, Buffy couldn't put a dent into it. So I really loved how this episode, like in the last episode, we established the Turok-Han, as well as the first being named dropped and confirmed that it's going to be the antagonist for this season. And this episode capitalized on it. It expanded about about how devastating the threat is going to be this season, as well as basically have this episode be a declaration of war, with Buffy not giving up without a fight, with these potentials coming in, with the hope that Faith, you know, I say I'm gonna look like an idiot with my hope for Faith to come in, but like I said, it makes so much sense. She is the official Slayer technically, and yeah, you gotta bring in Faith. So I'm rooting for Eliza to appear in some capacity this season, even if it's just the final episode. Like, because of Eliza's unavailability or whatever. I will take it. So, but it's suddenly, you know, No Way Home, Raimi, Spider-Man, and yeah. You just hope that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield show up in No Way Home, and you're like, even if it's for 5 minutes, I'll take it. So yeah, but no, I really liked how this episode progressed things, especially in the antagonist side of things, and yeah, very interesting to see what happens next episode. But yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care. I will see you guys next time. Toodles!